So you mentioned the Inflation Reduction Act. That was, as your listeners will know, that was the 2022
Yeah.
bill passed under the Biden administration, law passed under the Biden administration, but on a party line vote. Only the Democrats. They had 50 senators, and they got, Kamala Harris's VP was the tiebreaker. Famously, they called it the Inflation Reduction Act. It was really mostly a
Yeah.
climate bill, a
Yeah.
little bit of healthcare.
Very
Um,
poorly named.
Very, yeah, bizarrely named. I mean, that was a whole Joe Manchin story.
Yep.
But the point is, so you are right that to some degree you had that swing one way, and then President Trump comes in, there's a Republican Congress, you get the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. The headline of OB3A, as we call it, or OB3, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, the headline of that was, oh, everything got repealed from IRA. And that illustrates the kind of ping-ponging you're talking about. And we need to get over that. We need to fix that. But here's the bright spot, which also points the way forward. There actually was a lot of the IRA tax credits around clean energy, specifically around clean energy manufacturing and around clean energy technologies other than renewables. A lot of that got preserved in the OB3. So people don't recognize that necessarily. I'll tell you, the companies know because they still see
They're
those
tapping
tax
into
credits.
it. Yeah.
But the real story was, if you look at what got the things that got eliminated in that OB3A that had been in the IRA, they were things like wind and solar power credits. They were electric vehicles, things that had become kind of partisan ping pong balls, right?
Yeah.
Those were the things that got pulled back. But the things that you could build a broader base around, advanced energy manufacturing, so tax credits for building solar panels or building batteries or
Yeah.
building other things, right? Those got preserved. Tax credits for other forms of clean electricity. I mentioned geothermal, nuclear, battery storage. All of those were preserved. Tax credits for clean hydrogen and carbon capture, et cetera.
Yeah.
Those things were preserved in a Republican Congress in a vote that was party line on the Republican side. So when
Yeah.
we look at that, and that didn't just happen, that was the product of work that we did, that our partners did. And so I guess the lesson I take from that is, if you can make the arguments about economic competitiveness, about jobs and manufacturing and investment, American supply chains, and about economic prosperity and growth, and innovation, those are things that can attract bipartisan support. So we kind of need to rebuild from that, because we've seen an example of where we did get durable policies. And I think those policies will stick because we got them passed by a Democratic party line vote and then a Republican party line.